Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and with Forge and the Barons coming in just a couple of weeks and standard rotation occurring pretty soon, I thought there was an interesting topic to have here. We kind of went over a little bit of it when we talked about Wandmaker and Jandis and the problem no one's talking about and how those cards are getting insane post-rotation, but I thought we'd take a look at 10 other cards that are likely going to become absolutely ridiculous once rotation occurs for miscellaneous reasons. We'll go into it, and just a disclaimer on this video, some of these cards are already really good. Some of them see a good amount of play, but I feel with rotation, they're going to become even more insane, more ridiculous. So if you have them, don't disenchant them, don't get rid of them or anything silly like that. And again, we could just speculate on what's going to be insane and all that. So always discuss that in the comments. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at 10 cards that are likely going to be absolutely insane come rotation. So first, starting off, we have Scavengers Ingenuity. This is a good card already. It sees play in some Hunter decks, but it seems that Hunter is going very beast-centric. Like, we have Dire's Frenzy coming into the game. We have the new 2-drop that will be able to discover beasts from your deck, and it's just, this card alone is another way of tutoring, let alone buffing a beast that you're going to be drawing. And I think Beast Hunter is definitely going to be a thing that's going to be pushed in Scavenger's Ingenuity, which is already really good, giving that tutor, getting that buff, and sometimes on a card like Warpletinger or the Prime, buffing them up as well, getting copies of them can be insane, and who knows what other stuff's coming. But I think it's pretty safe to say that Scavenger's Ingenuity will be pretty insane going forward. At number 9, we have a rogue card that doesn't really see a lot of play right now, but that's Shifty Sophomore. It's a 4-mana 4/4. It's got stealth and spell burst. You got a random combo card to your hand, and well, World Kickmaster is rotating to wild, and there's a lot less value generators. You have no more lackeys, Evil Miscreant's gone, Pharaoh Cat's gone, and well, this card's not particularly bad, and we've seen how good combo cards are, random ones with World Kick, and they're only getting better with the rotation for the most part, because we're losing cards like what's for Perdition's Blade or something like that, some bad combo cards, and it's mostly going to be really good stuff. So you play a 4-mana 4/4 with stealth, which is pretty good, has synergies with your stealth stuff, and you get good value. I think that this card could be a staple in the rogue going forward, but of course it depends on what they get in the next expansions, and if it's completely busted, then why would you bother with this value? But again, so many value cards are going away, and this is a good one, can be aggressive, and I do think it will be pretty good going forward. Speaking of rogue cards, at number 8, we have one of the most busted cards period right now, Shadow Jeweler Hanar. It's a centerpiece in Secret Rogue, really absurdly strong card that's going to get even better, like ridiculously better. Think about all of the bad secrets that are going to wild, right? Like Eye for an Eye for Paladin, or what, Spellbender for Mage, or like a lot of bad spells. Like, you're going to be able to ensure that you're going to get like the good secrets almost always. It's just crazy. And of course the power level seems to be going down a little bit in terms of cards rotating. So yeah, Shadow Jeweler Hanar, which is already like a 5-star card, might be like god tier coming out of rotation with just how good the secret selection is going to be. And that's infinite value on a 2-drop that can protect itself. So look out, Shadow Jeweler Hanar is getting even more insane. Number 7, we have the studies cards. So like Primordial Studies, Demonic Studies, Carrion Studies. Why? Well, a lot of bad demons, Death Rattle minions, and spell damage minions are all being Hall of Famed or put down to wild. Like, you're not having like Ogre Magi or Archmage or all these bad spell damage minions, right? You're only gonna get the good ones. You're gonna get like the Dormant Phoenix for Mage almost always. Like, that's really good. Or the Prime very consistently. And for demons, there's a lot of the bad demons are going, like Xavius, and all those type of garbage demons are leaving the pool. So same, and again, Death Rattle minions like Harvest Golem or whatever, like Leper Gnome. It's gonna get a lot better, a lot more consistent, and these cards are, at least Primordial is really good, and some of these other study cards haven't seen play, but they might just now, and I would not be surprised to see them get more support as things go forward. So look out for the study cards even more, which are already crazy, but they're gonna get even more insane. Number 6, yet another rogue card. There's just a lot of rogue cards that are really good that are gonna pop in because the Lackey package and Pharaoh Cat package was so good. And that's Sparkjoy Cheat. With how powerful I think Secret Rogue can be, especially with Shadow Jeweler Hanar, Sparkjoy Cheat is an insane card. It's a 3-mana 3/3. It plays a secret and it draws as a card. That is a lot of value in one card, and it sees fringe play right now. It doesn't see a lot of play, but that's just because Roll Kick Rogue is so good. That's because Weapon Rogue is so good and likely to get nerfed. And I think that Sparkjoy Cheat is going to pop up in there and really be a prominent, dominant type of rogue card going forward, especially something like Secret Passage eventually gets nerfed again. That cycle is just so valuable, and also cheating out a secret, say a Dirty Trick that's going to draw you 2 more cards, is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, it's kind of crazy that a card this good at this power level sees relatively fringe play, at least currently in Standard. At number 5, we have the dual class spell Guidance. It's for Druid and Shaman, and you look at 2 spells and you get to either pick one or keep both, and if you keep both, you overload one. This card doesn't currently see a ton of play, or basically any play outside of like Arena, but a lot of bad spells are going, especially for Shaman. Shaman has a hard time generating cards, at least currently, unless the next set just they decide to ditch that. But when I would play Guidance in Shaman, you get like Forked Lightning and Ancestral Healing and all these awful spells. They're all going. They're all pretty much all going. You're only going to have really good spells to pick from. So I think in Shaman in particular, I think Guidance is going to pop up. 1 mana generate 2 spells is very powerful, and the overload can be a little bit of a negative, but getting 2 spells for 1 is a really good deal. And again, you can just choose the one you want if you only want the one, but quite often, like I said before, there was 2 spells you didn't want either of them, and now there's a good chance you're going to want both, and I think that will really help Guidance. We all know how good Discover is, or how like these type of effects are, and it's very likely to pop up after the spell pool becomes so much better going forward. Number 4 is Ring Toss for Mage. This card's already really good. It's really good in Mage, but it's getting even better. Again, the Mage secret pool is being diluted a lot, and you're basically going to be able to pick what secret you want if this is corrupted, right? Corrupted, you get to discover 2 secrets. You're basically always going to be able to find Barrier or Counter Spell or Rig Fair Game, which is incredibly powerful, and it's just a really, really solid card. The only downside I will say on this one is Flame Ward will be leaving, so that AoE effect, which is unlikely to be replaced, will hurt it a little bit. But overall, I think with the very diluted Mage secret pool, you're basically going to be able to pick whatever you want, and that is just such a powerful effect when you know exactly what you need to survive or get ahead in a certain situation. At number 3, we have Keyboard and Ivory, the dual class legendary for Mage and Rogue. Again, this card sees play. It's pretty good, but with like all the value generators, as I mentioned before, leaving, this card is just going to be like a staple in a lot of decks. Any value rogue, I just can't see it not running this now. You don't have the easy lackey generation, and Mage, like you could throw that into a value Mage. You are losing Highlander Mage, so Keyboard and Ivory might be a little bit more difficult to pull off, but especially in Rogue, again, I could definitely see this being a staple in that 5 mana spot. Just an incredibly powerful card. It's just kind of hidden behind like all these other insane Rogue cards, and again, Rogue just gets all the good stuff, and so once something good leaves, they always have something good to replace it with. I think Keyboard and Ivory definitely fits that bill. At number 2, I'm gonna go Darkmoon Tonk, the Hunter Mech. This card is like pretty solid. It's got that death rattle, very impactful death rattle, where it does 2 damage 4 different times like missiles. It's a really powerful card, and this card is like really close to being a prominent thing in the meta. It's too slow, right? And I feel like the meta will slow down a little bit, especially if like aggro rogue gets dialed down a bit. We've seen with Hunter losing all of its burn, we've seen with Mage losing a lot of its cheap burn with like Frostbolt, Arcane Missiles, that a card like Darkmoon Tonk can really shine the second the meta slows down. This card is incredibly powerful, especially with things like Jewel of N'Zoth to go with it, and I feel like the meta will slow down a little bit. I mean, we always say that, and it never does, so I'll probably be wrong. But regardless, I do think Darkmoon Tonk is an incredibly powerful card. If things just slow down just a touch, this card becomes ridiculously powerful. And the flavor is sweet. This card is super fun to play, so it's a hopeful one, but I do think that Darkmoon Tonk will be pretty busted once rotation occurs. Before we get to number 1, I have a few honorable mentions. Ace Hunter Kreen, the dual class Demon Hunter card. I think especially with Hunter becoming more board based, not so much aggressive based, Ace Hunter Kreen becomes much better. You want to actually fight for board. You actually want to keep the board. If you're playing like Beast, like a mid-range Beast deck, then Ace Hunter Kreen really fits in there, where it lets you get a lot of good value trades and win more. The problem with the card card as it's been in Demon Hunter and Hunter that just want to go face if they're playing those archetypes. Kreen doesn't fit in there. It doesn't fit into OTKDH either because it doesn't care about the board. But the second those classes care about the board, then Ace Hunter Kreen becomes insane, and I definitely could see it popping up a lot more in Standard. Another one, another rogue card, Ticketmaster, 3 mana 4/3. You shuffle 3 bears in your deck. There's currently no great way to get them out of your deck, but again, they might print support for that. But it's a 3-drop. It might take that evil miscreant spot where you just play it, hope to high roll some bears later on, can give you some board presence, but I'm not entirely sold on it that it'll be that prominent, but I think there's a good chance, so that's why it's an honorable mention. Then Auspicious Spirits, the 4 mana corrupt card for priest. You either get a random 4-drop or you get a random 7-drop if it's corrupted. The 7 mana pool is so much better with rotation, and even cards like Baron Geddon are buffed to 7/7s, right? There's a lot better options. You're not going to get War Golems, although that's not the worst roll in the world. There's just a lot better stuff that you'll be able to roll, but again, I don't think it'll pop up into decks or anything like that, but it's closer. I mean, playing a 7-drop for 4 mana, it's often a lot less than that with Palm Reading and Nazmani, that card might actually become a thing, so look out for that one. And now we have our number 1, the card that I think will become the most busted after rotation, and it's a hunter card. It's Trampling Rhino, 5 mana 5/5 rush, and basically its excess damage goes face. And well, they're making Dire Frenzy. Dire Frenzy's coming back to the core set. There's a lot of beast synergy stuff going on, and this card's already really good. There's some good stuff going on, like Scavengers Ingenuity. We have like the Scrap Shot card. There is some good stuff going on, and it's very apparent there's going to be a beast centric build for Hunter, and Trampling Rhino is just ridiculous in it, especially if you're shuffling a bunch of these in there. That's constant removal that's pushing a bunch of damage. The problem will be, can you draw it? And I think we'll be seeing some Hunter draw, especially with all the burn being taken out. So look out for Trampling Rhino. This card's already really good, but I think it will be absolutely insane after rotation. So let me know in the comments below, what cards do you think will be absolutely nuts after rotation when all these cards get changed up, when the pools are diluted, all that stuff. And let me know what you disagree with. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.